I hear how you turned out to be sort of
close to
brown and not black,
and
like
similar to you.
Yes. Yeah. How did that turn out?
Right. Well, that's the question I was asking when I was a teenager. So I asked my mother, and she said, "Oh, my grandfather's mother's name was Augustine Svedstrup, which was a Danish name." So at that time, I thought, wow, you know, then I better go to Denmark then. And whenever I met a Dane, I said, "I'm Danish, you know."
And they're like, "Yeah, right."
I said, yeah, right. You look Danish, right? So anyway, 2003, looked up the internet. An article came up from Berlingske Tidende with Johan Willem Svedstrup, had also Afrikaans winner, and that he was a commandant of forts in Qatar, where my mother was born. So I thought, that must be the guy responsible for my color.
Yeah.
You see? So when that happened, I looked up the internet and found somebody with a telephone number with the same name, Svedstrup. And I telephoned, and the guy said, "Yeah, you come to the right place. We always knew we had African relatives."
Huh.
Just like that, you see? So as that happened, they invited me to Denmark. And I said, I would like to see his gravestone, look for his gravestone in the kirkegård, in the churchyard. So then this article comes up with Peter Ruth, this guy, and me.
Yeah.
At the gravestone.
Oh.
And can you read this out? What does it say, please?
Familien forenet igen efter mere end 150 år.
Right.
His family is reunited after 150 years. Unbelievable.
This home is where I found the wife that my ancestor Johan Willem Svedstrup married when he got to Christiansborg to serve in the castle of Christiansborg. You know, home. She was a home, meaning part of her was from Denmark as well. And this is the house that she came from, you know. And they had a son called Johannes, you know, that's where my mother descended from.
And that's your ancestors?
That's my ancestors.
Wow.
So on both sides, they're Danish, strong Danish ancestry.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a painting of his. This is what he looks like.
With the
Dannebro.
Dannebro.
Yeah. And this is him here, Johan Willem Svedstrup. He was responsible for helping to stop the slave trade. He was a soldier. So I was thinking, and I was writing about the legacy of the slave trade, the healing, the legacy of slave trade. What another small world in that sense.
It is.
In there. Because as we've seen, it's been swept under the carpet. Even in Denmark, I mean, Denmark has just begun to realize that they had a part in even owning territories abroad.
I had absolutely no idea that it was for such a long time. I thought it was like, oh, maybe for about 50 years or something.
Yeah.
We sold a couple of slaves, so
yeah.
not much, you know,
Yeah.
but it was mostly the British, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But then when you read about it, it was like, you know, 100
Yes.
It's really extensive.
Yes, 150 years. There's a need to deal with this psychological side of healing, conflict resolution. I believe we've got to start with ourselves first.
Yes.
Before, you know, facilitating reconciliation outside us. So I believe you two are on that route. You're going up north to reconcile in a nice, I mean, a positive reconciliation with your family up north.